Welcome and good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Max with the RHMax channel and show. Today is going to be fun. We've got TrobAssets from Hex Community Jobs here. Going to talk about Hex Community Jobs website. If you haven't been to it, it's a place where you can post your resume, post a job, ask for help with a project, whatever you want to do for that. So it's a way to kind of aggregate a lot of the talent that's floating around the Hex community. So he's going to go into that. We're going to talk about some evolution of that perhaps, and how you can participate everything in that area to help Hexicans buy Hexicans. I love the idea. Definitely going to get into ask some questions around Pulse launch. I know we've had some dates floating around now, so that should be fun. Maybe get to some security talk as well. I think we may talk and kind of educate some folks on how these different platforms work and how to do security in the cloud. So without further ado, T-Rob, welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate all that you're doing, and thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I always love your I like the new background. I remember I think I was on your show a few weeks ago, and maybe you've rotated through a couple, but now you got a nice setup. You got the snowball going on?
Yeah. I've had that, and I finally kind of got it hooked up, and yeah, I mean, it's getting better. You know how it is. It's just a work in progress. Every day is something different. So
yeah, and so this is and you got the Hex flag or poster in the background.
Yeah, I had I'm working on the other side of the wall. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there yet, but we'll see.
Hey, it's better to have some space, not be too crowded. So yeah, you got time. You got plenty of room figured out.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So I kind of gave a mini ideal of Hex Community Jobs, but yeah, do you want to go into, before we get into that, tell everyone who you are, what you do, why you're here, how you got into crypto, just sort of a bio in the crypto Richard Heart space.
Yeah, man. So I'm T-Rob. I've been in the Hex community since I think it was November of last year, so relatively pretty new. I am one of the founders of hexcommunityjobs.com, and also I'm a streamer as well. BizPulse over on the Discord syndicate, and so I love Hex, and I kind of got into crypto in 2017. I lost money in BitConnect like a lot of people did, and I know, man. And then I ran
now, I think.
Yeah, I ran from it, and then I just, like I said, I just got back in. I kind of shied away from crypto and stayed in some other investing. So here I am, man.
Hey, you're not alone. I know BitConnect had. I always have that meme in my mind when I talk about it. But hey, I remember. I was there too, not with BitConnect in particular, but I was around during that time, and I saw it was just going nuts, and it was just pumping like crazy, and it just couldn't. One of those can't lose things, and then all of a sudden, I guess you can call it Ponzi. It just fell apart, and I remember the day thinking about the Texas, that order from some judge in Texas, right? That was like that was the nail, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. That it was funny because Kinetics and I are really good friends, and he kind of got me. We were in that together, so we lost money together on that. But he and I were just like, look at what we're making. We're making so much, and then all of a sudden, it's like, where'd it go?
You put money in, you get more out. I mean,
right.
That's what that was.
It was a learning experience for sure.
Yeah, it's especially when you're new to crypto. I mean, I was new to crypto back then as well. Again, I never got into BitConnect, but it always, I don't know, maybe I just got lucky staying away from it. I was never just that inclined to participate. I have 10,000 other projects going on too, so maybe I just didn't get around to it at the time. But I always I remember it kept going and going and going, and I was like, man, it's a little high now. I don't think I want to buy it. Even if I thought about buying it, it seems like it's in a bubble itself. And then when that judge made the ruling of a cease and desist or whatever it was, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. It's funny because at the time we were like, because we kind of saw what was going on, and we're like, let's get our money out of there. And it was like one day too late. So we're just like, oh my goodness. But anyway.
Yeah. It happens. Jerry's got a question. Hey, Jerry. Good time to buy Hex. Is it going to dip? Well, let's check the Hex price. What is it? Looks like 12 cents right now, almost 13. I mean, it was going up and then it came down. I mean, everybody was like looking for 20 cents, and then I think the whole crypto market's bottom fell out there for a second. And Hex sort of, I think Hex is, a lot of people would agree that Hex is uncorrelated with, at least somewhat uncorrelated with the broader market, just because of a lot of it's locked up. 08 holds a ton of it, which is good for price, and you want someone that has a lot of it that never sells, that type of thing. But at the same time, it's funny. I think we see that we can see how many people are staked. That was something I was talking to Wells about the other day, and he mentioned like when every time Hex dips like crazy, especially after it ran up to 50 cents and came down, less people were staked than we thought, or at least less Wells were staked than what we thought.
Yeah.
So I think that's telling a lot. It's a good time to buy. It's hard to say.
Well, I mean, I guess when did you come in? Are you trying to come in now? Because this isn't financial advice. It's just my opinion. But to me, a 12-cent Hex is a good buy. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's I mean, these things, they go in tiers, right? They if we hold 12 cents, we were holding kind of 17, 18 for a little while. I haven't seen Hex below 12 cents for a long time, below 10, 11, 12 area. So if you go historically, that could be interesting around this point. It's especially more interesting now. So if we weren't having the Pulse launch soon, it would be less interesting. But now there's this huge catalyst that could really make the price go way up because people are going to pick it up. We keep saying this for months and months and months because we keep waiting for the fork to happen to get all those free coins.
Right.
But when the countdown begins, I don't know why it wouldn't pop. Like, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it go up? Why wouldn't people, once they get a timer, once we know a for sure date, and we'll speculate about that a little later, once they know what's going on with it, how is it not going to get bought up? How are the whales not going to do all these buys, all this stuff?
Yeah.
So I don't know why it wouldn't go higher soon. And it ties into, you said you would pick some up at this price. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
And it's another good comment from Steve. Scary times, we're not in Hex for sure. I tweeted about it this morning too. If, Bitcoin's going down, Ethereum's going down, most altcoins seem to be going down. Who's panicking if you're staked and locked up in Hex? If you remove the possibility of even being able to sell it, feels a lot better. Makes me feel a lot better, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the beauty of the RH system, right? I mean, it's not like you see all these people losing a ton of money because they're trying to guess the market, and we don't really have to do that. I mean, once you're staked, you're just riding it for sure.
Yeah. Now, once your stake ends, then maybe you want to, have some trading mindset just a little bit. But honestly, for me, that's the most frustrating time is if and when I do want to take profit and my stake is ended. I don't even want that pressure. Like I know it's a good problem to have, but I like so much not having to worry about it that it's a little bit annoying that I have to figure out when I want to take some profit from time to time. So
sure.
Staked, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So, that's so back to you. So when you first got into crypto, we went through BitConnect and stuff. How long did it take you to find Hex? Like, did you just kind of go away with everyone else in the bear market after 2017 and come back?
Yeah, I mean,
Hex.
Yeah, I kind of ran from crypto, to be honest with you. I just, I didn't want to risk anymore, and decided to do other things. But and I had always kept in contact with Kinetics, and he's always talking to me about projects, and this Richard Hart and this Richard Hart, and finally I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. And so yeah, I mean, I totally stayed away until, like I said, I think, I don't know, October, November last year.
October, November last year. Wow. Well, that was quite a time to come in too, because that was just, I think, just before the big run up to 50, right? 50 cents.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was. Yeah. I mean, it all runs together. I can't even remember
Yeah.
what, I mean, but yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
think
I
it
think
hit,
it's a pretty good
I think
time.
it was around October or so, and then Pulse Sacrifice started like January 2 or something like that. And that's when it got shaky. That's when we had the whales playing games. We had, you know, a bunch of stuff going on as far as like the prices going up and down. You can't really tell, 30-cent range and then 20-cent range and then sub 20. We've been sub 20 for a while.
Yeah.
But the catalyst, like I said, Pulse launch, huge catalyst. I think people just need a timer. Once they get a timer, then they'll start getting in. And if this is the bottom for X, if 10, 11, 12 cents is, what a nice time to take action on that and to start believing again if you lost any faith.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think, like, because I mean, Richard Hart, said 2 weeks or less. And, I think a week out from the guest date for people is we're probably going to see a big turn. And that's just my opinion, that we're going to start seeing some, that hex starting to rise up for sure.
Well, he said 2 weeks, and that was, I think, when he said 2 weeks, that would put us around May 24th.
Yeah.
So he first said mid-May, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then he said 2 weeks from when he was on Wendy's stream the other day. So May 24th. Interesting. You think on May 24th, or do you think it'll be into that weekend? Because I think that's like maybe a Tuesday or something. Do you think there's any timing, like how would you even speculate if it was ready? Do you think is there any like marketing advantage to doing it a certain way?
I don't know of any, unless he's watching the market in general. There might be something there. But I wouldn't think, as far as like a time, like a time of the week. I don't know that that's, I don't think that that's anything. I think what's going to happen is his lead dev's going to go, hey, it's ready, and he's going to flip the switch, because I'm pretty sure he's probably tired of hearing, hey, when's this thing going to launch? When is it? The same questions over and over. So yeah,
I think it's building up for him too. I think because he wants to, again, he's in it for glory, and he wants the most followers possible. He wants the most momentum possible. He wants to be able to go into it with a strong hand, for like a better term. So I can see that. I can see, like, lead dev says it's ready. We're calling it ready. Let's we've already got everything. We've already prepped all the messaging. We've already prepped all the, whatever marketing side of things, and let's go. Let's get it while let's launch in the bear market. Hex launched in the bear market. Worked out beautifully.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. So, Hex Community Jobs, what is it? Where did it come from? What could it evolve into? Like, what do you
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when I came in, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, I've always had, started, sold businesses, operate businesses. And when I came in to the community, I wanted to give back to the community. Like, there's so many of us that are, like you are and everybody else. But so I just kind of went around and kind of polled people of like, hey, I see all these projects and I see people looking for people. What do you think about a job board? And I went to some of the main players that are been in the community for a long time, and they all said, well, everybody's talked about it, but nobody's done it. So I decided to do it. So that's really how it came together. And then I partnered with Anson, who is the design side of it all. And we put it together. I mean, Anson built it, and we had it up in, goodness, I think 2 weeks probably. We had it up and rolling, and we tweak it, here and there. It was kind of funny because when we started, we thought, well, it's just going to be a place where people will go post jobs. Well, what was happening, people were going in there and posting their skills, and looking for work or looking to be included on the projects. And then we're like, well, we need to change it and add that as well. So, so it's it's either a place where you can go look for work, or you can go and post, all the skills that you have where other people can find you. So, yeah.
And so what kind of planning went into doing that? I imagine you said it took around 2 weeks to launch. Did you and Anson sit down and kind of design it together, or did you have like a set of requirements, like a formal, like, hey, we want to have this, this, and this? How do we make that happen? Do we have access to technology? Do we need to go rent some cloud servers? Do we need to do this and that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we just come together and put everything on paper of our ideas. I mean, the concept of it was my idea, and I kind of had an idea of how I wanted it to work, and then Anson just kind of made it come together. But our idea, I mean, originally it started out with just on paper, and then we both kind of looked at other job boards around, and just kind of said, I like that option, I like this option, and we just kind of brought it all together that way.
What would you tell someone who's trying to start a new project, maybe similar, or has a different ideal, but like just putting it together in that time? Like, what would you have done different, do you think, if anything?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say I'd do anything different, Max, because I am the kind of guy that's just like, I bust doors open. I don't know if that makes sense or not, and a lot of times I'm like, hey, hold
bias for action.
Yeah, move back a little bit, slow down a little bit. So, I think, maybe us planning a little bit better when we launched it, of having that other option of people being able to post their, freelance type stuff on there. That would probably have been a plan, but it was hard because there's so many different options you can do with it. And really the reason behind it totally was not for Anson and I to make any money on it. It was a place where we wanted to bring people together for projects that we see. And we still think that when PulseChain launches, there's going to be, so many projects that are looking for, really skilled people. And there's so many skilled people in this community, man. There's some smart folks.
Well, how are people finding them? Like, how, I imagine that devs get onboarded pretty frequently for Pulse Hex community projects. I'm sure Richard has his own process for interviewing and things. Like, do you know how people are finding it outside of using the job board?
There's other job boards, but in our community, I think it's just word of mouth. Because I mean, really, when you look at this community, it's pretty small, so it's like you kind of know everyone, almost. So I do see occasionally on Twitter that people will post something on there and they'll have all kinds of responses, like, I'm looking for a developer, and it'd be 50 different responses. But so I think that's
interesting. I just thought that'd be interesting if you could have a a bot or something that follows different Hexicans, and if they post something about looking for job wanted or help wanted, it'll automatically create that, like, kind of take that tweet and turn it into a job and post it on the board automatically. Just came across my mind.
That's a good idea, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah, kind of scrape the community. I just thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned it may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, do you think, the way it is now, is there going to be a V2? Do you think it's going to evolve in the future? Do you have any new plans or new features to release?
It is, it's ever, we're probably going to have who knows how many versions, but I think what we're thinking more of right now is to make it more of kind of like a meetup spot more than anything. Almost like, what we're finding is in the crypto world is people don't want to fill out anything, right? They don't want to put a job in. They don't want to put their email in. They don't.
Friction.
Yeah. So we're toying back and forth. We're going to start trying to poll people and talk to people about it, but it may be one of those where we almost become almost like recruiters, where you come to us and we filled the incoming, what you're looking for, and kind of go that way. So that's an option we're thinking about. We're not sure. We just want the community to utilize it. I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think so. I was actually thinking before the stream on this a little bit too. two things I could see to reduce some of the friction for sign up, for posting, things like that. One, if you had a way to incentivize people, for example, if you had a Hex faucet or a affiliate program, something like that, where like, hey, we'll give you some Hex for if you go post your job or whatever, something like that. So you have the monetary energy side of it, and then you have the recruiting side, as you mentioned, where you actively seek out people and you basically sign them up. You sign them up for the site, and that's how you grow, at least at first.
Right.
And maybe over time it changes, once it becomes more popular and everyone starts using it. But at first, yeah, maybe an investment in actively recruiting, like you mentioned, would pay off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many different
takes time, energy, scale. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many options. I mean, we just kind of wanted to get it up to see how it worked. And, we get feedback. And we try to listen, I mean, Anson's really good about, hey, somebody said this, you want to try it. So we're open. I mean, we're definitely looking for people to go and check it out and give us feedback, like, hey, what if you did this? Cause we want people to use it. So
HexCommunityJobs.com. Great domain.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Say hi to the chat real quick. Steve D's been waiting on this question for a while. Jerry's in here. We had Crypto Compassion. I got to talk to him more. I haven't had the pleasure to have a conversation with him so much yet. We've just been going a little bit back and forth on Twitter and
he's
Telegram.
A great guy.
That's what I've heard. Everyone tells me that. Yeah. I like the name. The name sounds very, very kind as well. Yeah, everyone share the link. Let's get some more people in the chat asking some good questions, but let's go to Steve. He's been waiting for a while. What do you think Richard's new surprise is going to be? Will be better than his big diamond buy. Of course, he was talking about the world's largest diamond, that big black thing that he hasn't quite took possession of due to, I think he said like taxes or something, like the what do you call it, the taxes in Europe, or the VAT. The VAT is probably very high or something like that. That's I'm just speculating from what I remember him saying. But he said he could buy something else big. I mean, he's been killing on the watches. I think he's just bought some like 900K watch or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's probably not another watch, I imagine. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? So Richard's going to show us on stream in the next week or two.
I don't know. Is it going to be something that's materialistic, or is it going to be something that is beneficial to the community? So that's what I'm not sure about.
I would go materialistic because that's his track record in the last few months.
Yeah.
By the luggage shows that happen from time to time.
Right.
I think he bought something big. I think, of course, there's going to be big things going on as far as marketing. And, he already said that he wants to spend some time and effort, energy and money doing that in some way, shape, or form this year. This year is supposed to be about growing, scaling, all that stuff.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe a yacht?
I can imagine it's a car. Yeah. So he talked about yachts before. He said that he doesn't. I remember he said something along the lines of he doesn't want to buy a yacht yet, at least because, the quote is, careful what you buy because they may own you, right? So if you own a yacht, I know this is like rich people problems, but if you own a yacht, especially if you're someone who's hyper productive like this man, you will want to feel guilty if you're not spending time on it, right? You just paid millions of dollars for this beautiful boat. Why aren't you on it? Why are you building? Why aren't you on the boat?
Right.
And then you get on the boat and then you're like, do I want to get off the boat? Now I got to pay all the maintenance fees. Now I got to the crew, the chefs, you have all this take care of. So he really needs an assistant. It's hard for me to believe he doesn't have an assistant yet. Someone to handle, a PR person. He should have a whole department doing all this stuff.
Right.
I think he's explained it before. It's hard to find good people and trust people and things like that. I get it, but that's how, to me, that's how he's going to scale himself in the next 6 to 12 months. He's got to hire people that take care of his personal life and his professional life, as far as admin work and just doing the stuff that he's better off spending time on design, technical side, on the messaging, the stream messaging part.
Mm-hmm.
He should focus on the content more and let, scale himself through hiring people. That's what I think. It has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Steve says an island. That sounds materialistic.
Yeah. I know he's talked
awesome,
about
though.
that. He's talked about that.
The Hexco, right? I mean, he's talked about Hexco. Maybe he did buy some land and he's going to promote that as like the place to go, do his own country or something smaller at first.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Island's a good guess. Oh, all right. Let's go into the questions around there's so much going on this year. I think if you looked at the timetable of, I don't know, it's so hard to complain, it take 9 or 10 months to launch Pulse, all this stuff. In a year or two, I think we're gonna look back and be like, whoa, why were we so concerned? Why was everyone like up in arms all the time, yelling at Richard's Twitter, why aren't you launched yet? I got the wrong balance, all this stuff. Like it's gonna be laughable to have these kind of complaints once, the fundamentals kick in. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So what do you see? This year looks like the year of launch. Mm-hmm. Next year, what do you see happening? Like next year, 2024, 2025, what do you think is gonna happen?
Well, obviously there's going to be a ton of projects that are going to be launching. I know Richard's not a big supporter of NFTs, but I don't see them doing anything.
He will be
growing. Yeah. So for me, I think the NFTs are going to be huge. And more on the membership side of things than, art, in my opinion. But and there's going to be, a lot of wealthy people. In this community. That's how I feel. So I think that would be kind of some big things for sure.
Do you think that just the enormous amount of wealthy people, that's going to happen over, just people invested in Pulse and Hex and whatever token comes next? You talked about a wallet project, maybe a token for that to incentivize, using it. And then, what do you think? Do you think he'll ever run out of stuff? I always think about this sometimes too. Do you think he'll get to a point where, there's no more stuff that makes sense to sacrifice for? There's no more stuff to build that requires direct, communication to people, or direct deposit, if you will, from people. Like, you ever think the engagement is at this all-time high and that he's going to have to figure out something else to kind of keep people in the system? Maybe that's NFTs. Maybe that's, stuff like that.
I think he's probably, I think he's an innovator. So I feel like he's probably always going to be inventing or making something better. My thoughts is, our banking system's so terrible, maybe it's, he dives into that and tries to do some things. He's talked about a lot of different things as well. Even the social media side of things. So it's going to be interesting. I don't see him ever stopping though. I feel like he's going to just keep doing it. He likes to do projects and help people, but it's really for him to get, he likes the attention more than the other stuff, I think. So,
the glory side of it. He's already rich. There's no rug pull, only magic carpet ride. You want your founder to be rich. They are completely aligned and not rug pulling you if they're already rich.
Absolutely.
He counts his reputation as number one. So that's a great thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know how long he's going to be in crypto. I know that's a hot take, but I think that and I was talking to Wells about this the other day, I think that when we have his biography, his Wikipedia page, his whatever, his foundational writing about him, when they describe him, I think crypto will be a footnote, or it'll be a section, but it won't be what he's known for in 5 or 10 years. I think he'll be known for saving people. I think all this is for medical research. I think he wants to have as much money as possible to make sure there's no way that he cannot invest and make a difference and be effective in saving people with longevity, giving you more years to your life. I think crypto is a means to an end for that, and it's fun, and he, it strokes his ego and all the things that make the world go round. He wants to do something that no one's ever done before and fund stuff that no one's funding. And I think crypto, while it's an important part of his life, a big part of his life, yeah, I think it's just something. It's the conduit to get what he really wants, which is to be known for doing something extraordinary and that benefits mankind.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about that a lot, and yeah, that's probably on top of his list for sure, I would think. The only thing about him is, yeah, he does like the attention and that kind of stuff, but he's a pretty private guy. I mean, he doesn't like to travel, so it's one of those, when you come out of crypto and you try to go into something else, it's hard to be private at times. You know what I mean? So especially with his kind of wealth, it would be, like, I feel like he's always going to try to be a little bit private because, I mean, number one, you kind of have to for security reasons, but so it'll be interesting. I'm just grateful for him and grateful for what he's building and what he's built. I mean, yeah,
it's a win-win.
He's a smart guy. Yeah, for sure.
It's something that we all benefit from if we're sensitive to the right opportunities, we make the right decisions, and it's something he benefits from, and the world will benefit from him. Like, him being richer is better for the world. If you believe his ideals are healthy, you want the man who has the ideals you believe are healthy to have a lot of money so he can go make stuff happen.
Yep, for sure.
So it's that simple.
Yeah.
So I don't know why people they always go off on this tangent. I think most people don't even think about it. They just look at him showing off and him talking about PP and whatever else goes on. They don't know, like, the true person who this came from. If you go back and watch his 2017, 2018 streams, you get a much more in-depth version of him than him doing all the watch videos and stuff. That's just to connect with those communities. And it's not to people have been watching him forever. It's not for us anymore. We're already in. I remember him saying that one time on the streams, like, we're already in. He's already got us. He's already made enough content for us to like him, to believe in the mission, to understand how to make this wealth happen. He wants to get everyone else in. And once you see the bigger picture, it doesn't bother me at all. He can do every video from now on can be Louis Vuitton. I don't care. It's fine. It's the means to the end. And I know what his mission is, and I don't know who else is better to follow this guy.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, because I mean, he's even said it, don't go about and buy this stuff that I'm showing you. Like, I'm just using it to pull people in that have money. But, I talked about Kinetics earlier, and Kinetics was able to do a one-on-one interview with him. And I was just asking, well, how is he? And he goes, he's the most down to earth and the most inviting guy. He's just totally different from what you see on these videos. So, which I already kind of felt that anyway, because what you said, if you watch his videos back in the day, he was doing those for a different reason, right? I mean, he wasn't doing those to flaunt what he has. He was doing those to help people, and you still see it a lot. I mean, it still comes out from him. So yeah, really cool.
Somebody who wants and believes in medical research, why wouldn't you support that person, no matter what else they do?
Yeah.
Like, if you believe, I guess some people they think it's the biggest scam ever was. I guess if you think in that way, and you think you're helping people not get scammed by talking negatively about him and things like that, I guess that's an angle. But it just goes back to first principle thinking. Like, go look and see what he's done, and then tell me if it's a scam. Where's the scam? Where's the scam? I mean, how old is Hex? 2019? This is 2022. Where's the rug pull?
Right.
It's going nowhere. Look at the staking stats. They're only getting more wallets and stakers every day. There's only more projects being built in the ecosystem. Where's the rug pull? Where's it going to come from? Who's going to do it? I mean, I guess you just keep hitting on OA. It's like, it's not going to happen. He's in it for glory. You don't care. You don't care.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. One day it's I don't think those people are ever going to get it. I think they're the people who, same people you talk to about crypto, and they're like, beanie babies. Like, I literally think people who hate Hex will never buy Hex, and they will just never achieve, the things that Hexicans can do in the community and with the personal finance and freedom and stuff. They're just never going to get it. They're the beanie baby people of traditional finance.
Yeah, and I mean it's sad, but crypto kind of made itself. It did. There is some bad stuff that's happened in crypto, but there's also a lot of bad stuff that's happened in traditional finances as well that people don't want to talk about. So,
yeah,
I mean, we can get into that because one of the books I was going to talk about is all about that. But
yeah, let's do it. Let's do the segment 2 good books, and you can go first. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, the first book in it. Well, I'll start with the fun one, Greenlights for Matthew McConaughey. And that one's just entertaining. I like Matthew McConaughey. I kind of relate to him. He's kind of a country guy, and but Greenlights is just a fun book that he talks about his family and stuff, and that's why I threw that one on there. I throw that one on when I just need to lift up because it's fun to listen to. But the big one that to me it really changed my thinking and it almost made me like woke is The Creature from Jekyll Island. And
I want to talk to you about that one too, because I started listening to the audiobook. I could not get into it. So tell me what I'm missing. I feel like I'm missing something. Like what am I not getting about that book?
Well, I mean, it tells you the true story of our banking system and how it started. And, kind of the mafia, I guess, more than anything. So if you get into the book, G. Edward Griffin, who's the author of that, has all this written testimony of things that has happened in our banking system, our financial system, from government, all kinds of stuff. So it's just really like eye-opening, some of the things he talks about. He calls it the cartel is what he calls it. So I
got to the part where they all got on the boat and they went to Jekyll Island, and then I don't know. I mean, I read a lot of books. I kind of skip around, so I heard a lot of people say good things. I mean, you like it. Actually, I first heard it from what's her name? Her name is like Pulse Streamer or something. The lady, Pulse Gains. I can't remember her name, but the Pulse Gains girl, she's really good, and she talked about it, and that's why I'll try it. And then I don't know, I need to give it another shot. It sounds like.
Well, it's funny because RG3 just interviewed the author. I think it was yesterday, or the day before. So you might go watch that video because it was actually pretty good. The gentleman has got a ton of knowledge. I mean, some people would say, yeah, whatever, you know how it is, but I mean, he has a lot of things to back up what he's saying. So it really makes you question, well, number one, the dollar in general, but how our banking systems work. A lot of people don't understand it. So it's an eye opener for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Richard talks about it all the time, the fractional reserve system and, all the intricacies around that, it's like, your money is a liability, not an asset. They're not loaning it out. They're just using it on their bottom line to get more funds from the government, all that stuff. So if nothing else, drilling that idea into your head will just show you how fragile the banking system is and how these financial crashes can happen, how they're not that crazy.
Yeah. And he gets into, we could talk about this book probably the whole time, but he really gives you the true stories on the bailouts back when, the housing market crashed. So it's like, whoa, like I didn't know that. So it was good. It was good for me. Probably not everybody would be like, well, whatever, but I tell everyone they should read the book or listen to it.
And that is The Creature from Jekyll Island?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, nice. I get in my first book. I got a couple. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. This is one where it's probably one of the first books I started reading when I started my journey into wealth, wisdom, happiness, all that stuff. And I've been in big tech for a while. So Peter Thiel was, founder of PayPal, founded co-founder of Palantir, super successful. Most people know him now as the guy who made $5 billion in his Roth IRA. That popularized, oh my God, Roth IRAs are amazing, which thank you, Peter Thiel, for that. It definitely gave me some tips. So he wrote this book about startups, and it's super simple. It's maybe 150 pages, very small, well-written, compacted, but has a ton of key ideas. So if you don't read the book, at least go Google for the summary and listen to that from someone who's, there's all kinds of good summaries out there on YouTube, especially. Great book for just how to be, how to get in the mindset of business and how to be effective, how to really make money and avoid competition and not be a monopoly in a bad sense, but be a monopoly in a good sense. You don't want competitors. His famous line is competition is for losers, because if you have a lot of competition, now you just compete all your profits away. Cool. You're just in a market that's flooded with competitors. What you want is to be the best, or, the best at your niche, the best at what you're doing. And has nothing to do with that can get bad. That can get, Microsoft in the 2000s, all this stuff, where they got sued by the department, or the antitrust, all the lawsuits. That can happen. But as a business, you don't want to compete, because if you have to compete, that means just taking away from a profit margin. So all these very intricate, kind of non-intuitive things that you got to wrap your head around. Fantastic book. I'll listen to everything Peter Thiel says. He'll do a talk somewhere. I've listened to everything on YouTube he's ever written, anything that's ever been recorded. He's great. So. Cool.
Good. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, 0 to 1. And then Alan, great comment too on Thomas Sowell. Yes, he's you can, especially in economics, he's great. He comments on political events every once in a while, and I usually agree with him when he talks about it. So another great a great person, an academic. Peter is kind of both. He's a polymath, basically. He's kind of like Richard in that way, where he's just extremely good in a lot of different verticals. Yeah. I think Peter is like a chess master, and he's what he was going to be he was a clerk. He's going to go into law school, and then he's billionaire now, and just technology and all this stuff. So he's great. And the other one is, this is one I mentioned for Naval Ravikant. He is guru, or someone he's very close with, and he kind of does meditation stuff with. Shoot, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. The name of the book is Atmamun. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Kapil Gupta. Kapil Gupta is the author. And I'll put the links in the description, of course, in case you can't see it. But I actually wanted to read from this one, because I'm not into woo-woo type stuff. I feel like maybe one day, I don't even really meditate, what I would call meditation. But I do like thoughtfulness. I do like different opinions on how to do things, and especially deep thoughts, meaning of life stuff, purpose, why are we here? I think that's good for your soul, just to even just think about every once in a while. And he has a different take than I've ever seen for anyone else. So I'm just going to read just for a minute or so of something I read earlier today that I thought was really meaningful. But again, this is something that I don't know. I've listened to read a lot of his work already, so I kind of get a feel for what he means for all this stuff. So, yeah, you may not get it. That's okay, but I think it's pretty meaningful stuff. So it's called. Oh yeah, Alan says Cooped is good too. Awesome. Yeah, we're on the same page as that, man. It's called, the chapter's called "Life is the Ultimate Absurdity." What is the meaning of life? This is on the lips of millions of human beings, and every one of these human beings is an adult. Have you ever heard a child ask this question? The one who asks the question is the one who has not tasted life. The one who asks this question is the one who looks at life as a means to a particular end. For meaning is an intellectual concept. Intellect affords a sense of survival in the modern world, but survival is survival, and living is living. A child who twirls in the rain has no purpose for doing it. A child who runs through the field does not get somewhere. The running and jumping and playing is not done for meaning or purpose. It is an expression of the elation within. It is not done for joy. It is done out of joy. You can try to organize your life into neat and organized sections. You can label it and categorize it. You can arrange it any way you wish. But the minute you turn your head, it will become amorphous once again. You cannot contain it any more than you contain the ocean. A mountain breeze has no meaning. A floating cloud has no meaning. The surge of emotion has no meaning. A glorious ideal has no meaning. Successes, accolades, achievements, feelings, none of these have meaning. Certainly, man will ascribe meaning to them. Man will slice it away and look at it from all the angles to reduce it into a meaning. But this is only because man is not interested in what is. He is interested in what he can make out of it. And this is why the bulk of humanity lives in clinical existence. It reeks of antiseptic and medicines rather than undefined aromas. You can create anything you wish in your life, but you'll never make anything out of life. For life will always be life, meaningless, innocent, and indefinable. Some will read my words and assume I'm condemning the pursuit of success or the procurement of wealth. I would argue that my words are, in fact, providing even more freedom to do so. You see, if your pursuits and exploits in life have meaning to you, you will be burdened by expectation. You will feel the weight of striving. You will feel the pain of hope. You will be exposed to the turmoil and disappointment and hardship along the entire journey. Buddhist monks spend weeks creating intricately patterned mandala with painstaking detail. Millions of grains of sand are required, and an unwavering focus to extract every detail. And when it is complete, it is a beautiful work of art. What do the monks do after the mandala is complete? Do they cherish it? Do they put it into a frame? Or save it as a gallery piece for the other mandalas? No, they destroy it. This is their way of teaching themselves impermanence. As strange as it may sound, there is a joy in freeing oneself from attachment to his own creation. For attachment is the greatest bondage in existence. Climb the greatest mountain, achieve all the accolades in the world, become the greatest in your field, achieve fame, earn millions, and you'll enjoy every bit of the journey if and only if you understand that none of it means anything. I read that earlier today, and I thought, man, and there's more to the chapter, but it's a lot to take in. I know it's you kind of got to ponder about it a bit if you like to think deeply about these certain topics like this. I do from time to time. But yeah, this guy, he speaks to me from time to time. He really does. I think he looks at it from an angle that is healthy. I've listened to him for hours of his content. I wouldn't subscribe or prescribe to everything that he says and does, but I love the way that he looks at it in this pure manner. He looks at it in a way that makes you think, or at least aspire to do less of the superficial, to put less, desires, less expectations, and just stop thinking about meaning. Just be enjoy yourself. Like, the meaning of life is what you make it. But if you make it this means to an end, you're just going to keep, what's the meaning of rain? What's the meaning of, clouds, all this stuff? It's like, just live life, and you're only here for a certain time. Do what you like to do. I think that's a part of the message.
Yeah. No, I like that. I mean, I love books that make you think outside of your bubble. You know what I mean? Like, open your mind to different things. It's like manifesting, it's similar to that, where it's, you put it out there, it's, typically you're probably going to get it if you're manifesting it, and you're pushing yourself towards it and you don't realize you're doing it. So kind of the same concept.
Have you watched the WeWork documentary deal? Yeah, that's where you got it from? I was thinking, I was like, it sounds like you watched what's his name, Jared Leto and Anne Hathaway in that fantastic show.
I thought it was good. I mean, it's pretty crazy what they did, huh? Like to me, it's unbelievable. I mean,
had me on the edge of my seat all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, wow. But they didn't take no. There was no to them. It's like, we'll make it happen. So
we'll make it happen. It was, he was stressed. Adam Newman. We're talking about the WeWork show on, was it Apple TV? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was on Apple.
I got them all mixed up. I got HBO Max,
me too.
Apple, Netflix. Hard to say. But yeah, excellent show. It talks about WeWork and how they started, all the crazy stuff that happened between, how it sort of ended. Excellent cast. Like great job. Those two, especially the two leads, just fantastic. Just blew it out of the water.
Yep.
So great show if you're interested in watching about how this crazy spiritual tech company began, fell, the trials of the founders in between, the life trials, and then super interesting one.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so while we're on ideals, what are the ideals from Richard or like some of the big thinkers that other than what we already talked about, that are important to you, that you think are healthy, should be out there more? What is some of the stuff that people are not talking about? They're not doing. They're not creating these things, or popularizing them.
I don't know. I mean, I think for me, it's I'll go back to just like staking in general. I feel like the method of that, or the concept of that, is still really new in crypto world, and people don't understand that. Like typically you would buy a coin low, right, and then try to sell it, and time the market. So for me, it's such a mindset change, and I know a lot of people said the same thing. And it's a relief. It really is, because you're not worrying about like getting up every freaking morning trying to watch the market, or all day, trying to figure the market out. So to me, that's been a big change for me mentally, of not having to worry about really where the price is at.
Or subscribing to all the YouTubers doing price calls like every day.
Yeah. And just grinding and watching and trying to figure it all out. To me, the systems that we're in currently, I'm just speaking for myself, are pretty simple. I mean, it's not like you got to be extremely smart. Look at me and I'm doing okay. It's like, just be consistent and just kind of follow what people are telling you to do, really. I mean, I would say that, like Alan said, delayed gratification is something that I'm learning. It's hard for me because I come from a background of business. When you turn a profit, you want an instant, right? You're like I'm building something, I want money tomorrow. So it's been building patience in me, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's delayed gratification, staking, this whole mindset of you don't need to trade. You don't need to be a trader. You don't need to, Richard talks about this, like sacrifice your time, your loved ones, your energy, your memories. You don't need to stare at a computer trying to take money from the other person. Don't need to do that. Just stake it, come back later. If you want to take profit, take profit. If you want to restake it. But something that's designed to go up over time, you don't want to sell the golden goose. Don't sell the golden goose, and just do whatever you want. Like create, like it frees up so much of your mind space, so much of your consciousness, so much of your time. If you don't have to sit there and click buttons, buy, sell, just don't do it. Don't do it. Stake Hex, do stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think PulseChain has some of the similar dynamics of, delegated staking, where we got the validators, and then PulseX has, there's going to be like third-party tokens where you can, I think you can stake and then earn some of those things. Kind of like, I think PancakeSwap does that. PancakeSwap has this similar system, from what I understand, where you can stake and you earn these other tokens, and maybe they mean something to you because you like this niche or whatever. But you're not earning stuff to sell. You're not. That's the beauty of the system. You're not earning things that you can go use to bring the price down. Everything is meant to do the price up as much as possible. You can still sell your coins anytime you want, but you're heavily de-incentivized to do that. And that's a very good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a total different mindset than your typical crypto world, you know, or even day trading. It's the same thing, you know, like the mindset is crazy. You're just trying to watch everything and make sure you're in and out in the right time.
I don't know how people do it. I don't think I want to live my life that way. I think I have
No.
more important things to do than to watch the charts.
Yep, for sure.
I remember when I first getting in crypto, I read, you know, all the classic books, what is the one that the trading book that's really, really popular? I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I was reading all these materials. I wanted to get familiar with, you know, tops and bottoms and, you know, different kinds of patterns and things like that. And I remember getting into it, reading it and thinking, I don't really want to trade though. I mean, I don't think I wanted to go into this. Like, it's not even that it's complicated. It's just like, it seems like a lot of work for what? Like, why can't I just hold on to it? Back then it wasn't even staking. It was just like, why can't I just hodl? Why can't I just buy it and hold it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been interesting evolution as far as that goes. It says, when you give poor your wealthy timer was rebuild now, make your impact. Yeah. Yeah. Starts with yourself. I think if nobody's going to do it for you, nobody's going to make you rich. You make you rich. You do the work. And you got to want it. Right? I think a lot of people, it's nice to have. Being rich is nice to have. Having money is nice to have. Oh, maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. That's not going to make you rich. That's not going to like help you build generational wealth. You got to believe in something. And, you know, nothing in life is 100%, but hey, 90-some%, you got pretty good odds if you believe in it that much. And if you keep seeing what happens over and over and over, these cycles go up and down. Everyone panicking. Why? Even if I had a bunch of Bitcoin and Ethereum or a bunch of, you know, stock and a bunch of like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't have these things either, but like, say I had this portfolio of all these things. Why are you so worried? It's going to go back up unless nuclear war happens, which I'm pretty sure it's not. But unless like the world gets destroyed, things go up and things go down. It happens in cycles. It's like economics markets 101. Things go up. When things are going up, everyone thinks they can never go down. When things are going down, they think it'll never go back up. You meet somewhere and then it reverses. Why I don't understand why people put all these emotions into it.
Yeah, I think the problem that we're seeing is people are not diversified. You know, they've put all their money into one shiny object, and that's they count on that for their life. And you know, I would never recommend that to anyone. Like,
well, so if it's a scam, you're right. So if it's a scam, it can go to zero or close to it.
Yeah.
But even if it's, you know, it doesn't matter what coin you bought. If it's not a scam and it's down right now, it's going to go back up more than likely. Like, that's just, if you look at history, that's what a chart is. It's ups and downs. Unless something just goes to zero, it happens from time to time and you're just unlucky. But I don't get it. I know, like, for companies in the stock market, it affects them in a way like they can't borrow as much money because their valuation is lower, and there's like all these intricate things with business on the business side. Yeah. But as a retail investor, if you buy something and it's like a legitimate thing and it's going down, chances are it's going to go back up eventually. Like, unless, you know, you just timed it, unless you just have like horrible timing and you just bought it in the middle and then, you know, it's at its all-time high. I guess things can go down there's some products that can go down for a long time, for like 10, 20 years, but over a long enough time scale, if the thing you bought is legit, why are you so worried about it? Just wait till the cycle goes back up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, sponsorships in crypto. While we're on the economic side, I'm curious what you think about that, because, you know, for my channel, I don't do sponsors. I don't do ads. I don't even have YouTube monetization turned on. I have no plans to. I think, my opinion, I have nothing against anyone out there doing sponsorships or doing paid stuff, or, you know, whatever. You do what you want with your money. I have no ill feelings towards you whatsoever. Sure. I personally feel like if someone is paying me, I have less control over my content. I owe them something, you know, because contracting, they're paying me for it, whatever. I feel like I can't put out the pure content that I prefer to put out when I'm being paid for it. And that goes for work too. You know, if you have a full-time job and they're paying you, you lose control. You lose part of the control of what you do, because you got to do it the way they say, or at least part of it, or you're not going to have a job very long.
Right.
So I try to optimize my life for getting, I don't know, maybe it's like the artistic side of it that I feel very strongly against. I want to own my work as much as possible. So I optimize against being paid for things that I feel like, when I feel like I'm creating something, I try to own it myself instead of always looking for a way to make money for it. And I try to make money, you know, with my assets and things like that instead. So that's just the way I feel about it. Again, no ill will towards anyone who's out there trying to make money. Some people are doing YouTube for a living. All the luck in the world goes to you all. Hopefully you can kill it, especially if you're helping the Hex community. I just treat my content differently. What do you think?
I guess when you asked the question, I was thinking of sponsorship in another way of like, you know, crypto.com, you know, like, so for me, my mindset is, I guess that's more of the marketing and advertising side, but is that the more we drive into the crypto community, the better for us. You know, that's my mindset anyway. You know, as far as the sponsorships of of people's, you know, streams or whatever it may be, each to their own. You know, I don't think that I'll ever do that unless it's something that I truly, my heart is like, that is part of my lifestyle or something like that. I would consider it. But I know there's, you know, I know of people that are getting sponsorships of things they probably don't believe in, and that'll definitely not be anything I couldn't, my conscience, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I couldn't, you know, push something that I don't believe in, you know, or I don't use or something like that. But
yeah, and it's not that you never have to do it. It's just having like, you should, I'm not saying you should, I'm not telling anyone what to do. I aspire to have complete control over my content.
Sure.
So if I'm going to do that, I can't be looking for sponsors. I can't be taking on ads. I can't be, you know, doing stuff like that, because in my mind, that is taking away from my content in a way, in a direction that I don't want us to do. However, on my show, if you want to promote something, you got some idea, and we'll talk about that in the gratitude section. If you got something you like and you want to talk about, feel free. I don't care if they're paying you or not. You're on the show. You can say whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
If I like something or like someone or like a product, I would rather interview them and get them to go talk about it themselves than to me, you know, to have this like script to read and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a more, to me, it's a more transparent, more, I don't know, it's just my style. I optimize towards owning the words that I say as much as possible. Everyone needs to make money. Everyone can do whatever they want. That's just the way I personally feel best. That's when I'm at my best. It's when I'm doing that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because we talk about sponsorships, and here I am with the, you know, Hex, all this different stuff. It's almost like, man, are you sponsored by them? Well, yeah, I am.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
we all are. We're all invested, you know. So
hey, and that's the right kind of sponsorship. That is you doing the work. No one told me to go buy a Hex necklace. No one told me to go buy Hex apparel. Nobody told me to create a channel card, you know, called RHMax. Nobody told me to do any of that stuff. Right. I did it. So I can advertise for whatever I like, because that's what I like.
Yep, for sure.
Alan is sponsored by Hex too. Yes, sir.
That's good.
That's a good point. It's those kind of sponsorships. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you talked a lot about Kinetics. I know you have a relationship with him. It sounds like he was part of your entry to the crypto or Hex, at least. Mm-hmm. Who have you learned the most from in the community? Like, would it be Kinetics? Like, who has like showed you the way and like helped you understand stuff more than anyone else?
Well, I mean, you know, Kinetics has been a family friend for a long time. So I trust a lot of the things that he would tell me, that he tells me. So I would say that as far as like in the crypto world of things, I definitely have learned a lot from him. And I guess, you know, the other, if we're talking about in our community, you know, Matt, Crypto Heartbeat, you know, Matt's another friend of mine, and, I learned a lot about life with Matt. It's not all about crypto. It's about just doing life, like just being positive, and he's a very uplifting guy. And so I guess I admire him, a lot. So I do listen to a lot of his streams because I enjoy, stuff he's putting out. But yeah, I would say those are two that have helped me for sure.
Well, I'm hoping Crypto Compassion's still tuning in too, because I would like to get Heartbeat on here to talk about the Pulse Promise and all that stuff. I think that's a really cool idea. And I know it sounds like Crypto Compassion hangs out in Telegram with him a lot too. And he gave me a thumbs up on my message to Crypto Heartbeat. Hey, I'd love to have you and talk about the Pulse Promise and all the cool charity stuff and all that we're going to do once Pulse launches. So hopefully I'm able to get that, because I think more people need to know about it.
Yeah, no, he'll jump on with you for sure. I wouldn't see any issues with that.
Nice. Well, I certainly hope so. I think it'd be a fascinating topic. I love getting the word out and all these little projects that are happening. I mean, some of them, they're small now. I mean, I guess probably wouldn't even call his little, because he's got, in the Compassion Cartel, there's over 1,000 members. So right. Potentially 1,000 people, they're going to set some pulse aside to work on whatever ideal they want, and let it grow, and hopefully turn it into something that could do some good in the world. Yeah. And getting that message out there, and such a powerful idea, I think it's a good thing. So yeah, I hope to talk. That's what I want. I want to talk to more people who have these ideas and want to, and sort of like create content around making sure people know about them and they're well understood, and people don't have it. You hate it when somebody hears an idea, they hear a project, and their first question is, oh, what is it? How does it work? I want that. I think one of my missions too, I think is I can help with, is help that go away. Like I want people to explain what they're doing, what projects they're working on, and how people can interact with it. And that just removes friction. That's what I love. I love removing friction from jumping in and getting involved with stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. Last night I interviewed Charity, the charity'sgift.com. But really cool idea. It's a crypto charity platform. And the guy's heart, man, it was just one of those deals where he just lifted you up. When I was interviewing him, I just felt like this guy is like the real deal. So, I do it kind of for the same reason as you do it, because I love to introduce the community and beyond. You like to introduce things to them, that people may not know about. So it's fun because I learn a lot as well, talking to people like you. So
there's a lot of win-wins out there. I think so much in the Hex community we can do to help each other just by talking to each other, getting people on streams, discussing these ideals, making the content available. I think that's like, the more content out there, the more positive things people see, it's going to beat out the noise of the scam stuff too.
Yeah.
So I think that's valuable. That's how, I think we can make our mark here too.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'll get you out of here before too late. Let's do the closing gratitude. So every day I think should be a little bit more like Thanksgiving. Eat good, have great conversations, say what you're thankful for. Is there something or someone you want to express gratitude to? Like somebody do something really nice for you lately, or a product from a company that you're like, oh my God, I got this new thing and it's amazing and it's just like, solved this problem for me. Anything like that? Like, do you want to give a shout out to?
Man, other than my wife, I mean, I'd like to shout her out. I mean,
shout out wives.
Yeah,
they're usually pretty good.
She puts up with me and all these endeavors, like I work a full-time job, and then I'm typically on my computer all night. So just very grateful for her support and all that she does here at the house.
Well, amen on that. I think I'll give a shout out to Logitech, was it StreamCam, something like that. I got my Amazon shipping next day, showed up 2 hours ago. I'm like, just in time, try it out for the new T-Rob stream.
That's awesome.
And this camera's awesome. Yeah, I was using like some software, eyeglasses or something for Mac to adjust the adjust the zoom and all that. And because my other one was like really wide angle, far away.
Yeah.
And so I was using software instead of the hardware portion. And on this, it's got, I'm basically offloading the zoom, the rendering, stuff like that on the camera itself, because I have a nicer camera. This camera is much nicer. And I didn't have to adjust a single thing. I'm like, wow, this is literally perfect. It's like they made it for streamers, which is StreamCam. Who knew? So yeah, shout out to Logitech for that. You'll solve the problem for me. I mean, I've been running around trying to like get my setup here and there. I'm sitting, I'm standing, and I got the camera issue solved, looks like. So I super appreciate that.
Yeah, it's always nice to get some great technology, huh? That actually works and helps you do your job better.
Yes, yes. That's again, I'm all about removing friction. So whatever I can do, whatever I can learn to make more efficient with media, more efficient streaming, more efficient on my day to day. Man, that's what I want to do. That's what I get into.
For sure.
All right, everyone. This was a great episode. Not that I'm surprised, but yeah, T-Rob killed it. I think we had a great discussion about a lot of different stuff. Definitely stuff. We had more than zero in here, so definitely someone was interested in paying attention and listening, at least as background music. So
that's good.
Appreciate all the support, everyone. Y'all are great questions. Alan, Steve, Jerry, Crypto Compassion. If I missed anyone, everyone, just thank you so much for joining us. Try to get the clips out as quickly as I can, and let's see who I got on next. I got maybe Dave. I think David James has confirmed for Saturday, so I should have a morning stream or an afternoon, depending on where you are, with David James, who has some interesting Hexicans. Got some cool stuff to talk about, I'm sure. So see you probably in 2 or 3 days if all goes well. And thanks to you, Rob, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Enjoyed the time.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take care, man.